Hello, Quad Flying Fun here, and today I want to do my, can't call it my initial flight review of the WLToys V686G because I've had this quad for about a week and a half now, and I have to be honest, right out of the box I was really disappointed with this quad because I had several problems with it. It just wouldn't fly out of the box, so I started investigating it, and I don't know if it's just due to poor quality control, but a couple of the bearings were turned backwards. Actually, it was this prop right here. These bearings were turned upside down in here. This comes from the factory with good roller bearings in it already. It doesn't have the brass bearings in it, but they had turned them backwards in here, and this motor was really severely binding up, and the quad would barely fly. And I tried to do the flight review on it, and it didn't turn out very well. I was very disappointed. I worked on it, did some things, and I've got the quad now to where it's flying actually fairly decent. As I've used in some of my other reviews of my quads, I've got the giant power battery. You can see it down in here. It's a lot smaller than the original battery, but this battery weighs less, and it's a 35C battery with the same milliamp hour rating, 750 milliamp hour, and it really improves the performance of this quad, because even after I got the bearings fixed and took care of all that, I flew the quad again, and it with the camera on it, I mean, I have to be honest in my review here, it's somewhat underpowered for this camera. It has a really hard time picking it up. Now without it, it does okay, but with it, it is very underpowered. So I wanted to do another review, and with this battery in it, so that I can actually see how it can fly. And in that initial review, I was tried to do my FPV monitor, and it was kind of sunny and you couldn't see it. See, I've got a kind of an overcast evening right now, so we should be able to see. I can demonstrate the FPV on it with the monitor on. You'll be able to see it tonight. So let's get the battery plugged in here. Let me get my head tipped down here so everybody can see. Now, I like the way they did this. You can tuck this in here and got this little door. This is the front on this side. And yeah, camera's on. See, the camera comes on automatically as soon as you plug the battery in. You can tell that with this little blue light. Now, it does record, and I'll show that. Let's turn the FPV monitor on here. Got a switch on the side here. Yep, you can see she's on. You can see in there. I hope you can see that. It's seeing the grass right there. I can't can't use my trailer tonight for my launch pad. I raced yesterday, so I've got my race car sitting on there right now. I didn't take it down yesterday when I come home, so I just set the quad on the ground. It's good down there, and you can see we got a good picture in here, and I've flown this with the FPV on it, and it really works well. This camera does a really good job. Now its range is just a little bit limited, and I think you could fix that by putting a cloverleaf antenna on the transmitter there, and then getting one for here on the receiver too. I think it would help its range, because it'll only get out, I mean, I can only get about, probably, it does its advertised range, about 150 meters is about all it can do. Now let's get the transmitter turned on. Now this uses a different protocol than everything else does. You can tell with the transmitter. Okay, should be bound now. Let's see here. Let's see if we got power. Yes, we do. We've got power. So let's just go straight to 100% rates here. Let's turn the lights off. We don't need them. With the camera running, you only get about 6 or 7 minutes of flight time. So we need to get in the air here, and so we can get this guy going. I can kind of show you what it does here. So let's go. And here we go. And the quad, with this battery in it, I'll tell you, it has some snappy performance. And you can see here. Now, I got a little bit of wind tonight, and you can see there's a front coming. You can see off to the west there, but it's kind of calm right now. Now you can see the picture here this thing gives. And let me record, because now you see it drops out just a little bit every now and then, but it's not bad. I mean, I actually flew it out here with the FPV, and it worked pretty well. Now see, when I get closer here, it clears up. See, I'm right overhead now. Let me pull up. I don't want to get into the trees with it, but it does well. I mean, I think with a cloverleaf antenna on it, it would really help it. Let me try something here. Let me straighten my aerial up, see if that helps get us a little better reception here. You can see with this battery in here, it has some good performance. With the stock battery, not so good. I mean, it does okay, but I think the stock battery is only a 25C, and it just doesn't it just doesn't have the energy density that this battery has, and like I said, it's heavier. So if you can get on, I've got the link. I'll actually throw the link to eBay for this battery because it really works well in this quad and helps its performance a lot. Like I said, out of the box, it's for me, after flying the Tarantula, this quad with the camera on it is very, very underpowered. So, but you can see it's performing well right now, and I got a little bit of wind out here. It's not a windless night, and it's performing really well. Let's see, where are we at here? Yeah, see, hopefully you can see the picture in the camera. Let me tip this down so you can see it. But yeah, now I had hopes of, I'll talk about it a little bit. I had hopes initially of using this camera on my Tarantula because it uses a similar plug. But hopes were dashed. It won't work. It will come on. I want to let everybody know the camera will come on, the camera will operate, but only for about 2 minutes. There's something about the Tarantula's power supply. This camera actually pulls so many amps it overloads it. So basically what it does, it just shuts the power off to it before anything gets damaged. So just so everybody knows, this camera will not work. Now, there was another guy on YouTube that's been talking about he wants to get a separate regulator, a 5-volt regulator that can handle the amp pull of this camera, and set it up separately. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I think what I'm going to do with the Tarantula, I'm just going to get me a totally standalone setup for it, and use it, and just use this little guy. I can make some improvements. This little quad's got some potential. It just needs a little better motor in it. And I think this little quad would fly great. I'll have to, with this battery and get a little better motor in it, it can pick this camera up easy. But you can see it does fly well. It does nice funnels. Cut the power back just a little bit here. But it does have, now it doesn't have quite the forward pitch that like the Tarantula does, but it does quite well. I mean, it'll fly. It's not as sporty as that quad because of the pitch, but it does fly. See, this is all it's got. It's right here. Oh, and see, like I said, battery time is very, very limited when you're recording or running that camera. So let's set this guy down. Let off of him. Come on, guy. See if I can land it on my little patch here where I don't have much grass. One thing I like about it gives you plenty of time to get it on the ground. Some of the quads, you start down with them, you don't have a lot of time to get them set down. Okay. Not a perfect landing, but good enough. So, yeah, you can see in here, see the all the grass in the thing here. Let me turn the I'll post up the video from this. I was watching it. I recorded some other flights I did with it, and I'll tell you you can see the lights flashing in it now. It's got the battery run down pretty good on me. Oh, that's my monitor going away. I hadn't charged it, so luckily it had enough power to last for the flight. But I kind of lost my train of thought there. Oh, but anyways, the battery with the camera running on this guy, it really pulls the battery down. Even this this giant power battery, it pulls it down pretty quick too. Now, if you fly without the camera on it, And with this battery, I mean, it really performs well. I suppose if you could take these landing gear off of it and decrease the aerodynamic drag some more, this little quad would be a really good performer just the way it is. But if you're going to use it as intended with the camera on it, it needs some help. It's just a little bit underpowered for hauling this camera, and it pulls the battery so hard on it. Running the camera and then trying to run the motors, the voltage drop is just a little bit too much for it, and its performance is sluggish at best. So I hope that helps everybody. I mean, I don't want to knock this little quad. I've seen a lot of people flying it, and a lot of people like it, but for me, it was just a little bit disappointing after flying the Tarantula. I think my Tarantulas spoiled me for all of them now, because that thing is such an awesome performer. But I hope that helps everybody, and if you have any questions, just put it in the comments down below, and give me a big thumbs up if you like the review. And like I said, I'll post the link to eBay for the battery, because I'll tell you, the battery really helps this thing a lot, that giant power battery, because it's lighter and has a lot more energy density than the stock batteries. So hope you like that, and until the next time, see ya. Bye.